As blockchain technology becomes ubiquitous, it will force humanity to evolve to be more connected than it ever has been before. The magnitude of this change will be felt by us all. Therefore, we have a responsibility to make it a positive one that empowers people, respects the sovereignty of the individual, and officially distributes resources in a manner that's harmonious with the planet and life upon it. Thankfully, the groundwork has already been laid by Bitcoin and its trustless, decentralized network accessible by anyone and anywhere in the world. We believe Bitcoin is like Rome, and that all roads lead to it, or at least they should. This is why Syscoin is built on top of its foundational security, and all the utility added to it on our EVM side and layer 2 is anchored to it. It is why we call on others to do the same, in the face of those transitioning to centralized and sensible proof-of-stake alternatives. Bitcoin is a precious resource, not only financially speaking, but for the sake of the distribution of power. Consequently, it is up to us to protect it. Just as the guiding philosophy of Bitcoin has helped us reach this point, Jagdeep Sidhu has developed 10 principles to help us respect Bitcoin and ensure we can continue to pass the gift onto future generations. We call them the 10 Commandments of Blockchain. If you wish to understand Syscoin, then you must know what we believe. 1. Bitcoin will remain the most decentralized and most secure Byzantine fault-tolerant network in the world. We must tap into it for the security of other ledger systems. 2. Blockchain is a court, not a transaction processor. 3. Blockchains other than Bitcoin are in the business of selling block space and making the most optimal use of that space. The most optimal use will result in the most optimal blockchain. 4. Minimal viable inflation is a strategy to make the most optimal decision for profitability in the ledger without sacrificing security or decentralization, according to the Bitcoin model. 5. We should tie into Bitcoin mining for security and not consensus due to minimal viable inflation. 6. Modular blockchains designs are demonstrably superior to monolithic design, which makes them the optimal use of block space and perpetual demand through minimal viable inflation. Number 7. Layer 1 data availability is the best and perhaps the only solution to the long-term viability of modular blockchain design. Number 8. Interplanetary finance, the perpetual survival of this model, requires modular blockchain design because we must remove the element of time between economies across planets, otherwise known as time and space. Number 9. Proof of work is more inflation resistant and more secure against stealth attacks than proof of stake. It is better equipped to deal with the black swan events as a result. And lastly, number 10. Blockchains are here to protect us from black swan events that occur externally or internally to the design of the blockchain. You should be secure under normal scenarios, but also equally secure during adverse conditions. Following these commands will ensure the Bitcoin ecosystem continues to proliferate as humankind does so along with it. Syscoin's holistic approach is designed to provide the architecture for the decentralized supercomputer that gives the world the alternative networks needed to replace the centralized legacy institutions. The ability to automate processes typically carried out by teams of people and efficiently allocate resources harmoniously with the environment in a way that empowers people from the bottom up rather than from the top down is a means to reach a more equitable distribution of power. Bitcoin forms the technological bedrock of this system and the cornerstone of a more advanced civilization. By following this ethos, we choose to evolve, changing our world for the better. And as we shoot for the stars, we shall bring it with us.